Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep the C-Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. This is the Week 13 NFL recap. Shout out to you if this is your first time tuning in. Please do us a favor, hit the sub button. If you already sub, please make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment if you agree with something, if you disagree with something, or if you just want to make a point yourself. And don't forget to hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop new content. If your team is still in the playoff hunt, shout out to you. I'm one of those guys that my season is over. I just want to see good football. And, keep talking dirty about my rings for the last couple of weeks. I'm keeping it a C-Note. Let's start Week 13 off in Atlanta. We had Pittsburgh on the road trying to win 2 in a row, trying to save Mike Tomlin from a losing season, first ever losing season. Shout out Pittsburgh. They got the 19-16 victory. Kenny Pickett threw for 197 and a touchdown. Najee Harris, he got busy, 86 yards on the ground. And Pat Fryer moved 3 catches, 76 yards. Pittsburgh's 5-7. Trying to at least finish 500 on the strength of Mike Tomlin. Let's see if they get it done. Atlanta, Marcus Mariota, he threw for 167, a touchdown, an interception. Cordell Patterson, 60 yards on the ground. And Drake London, 6 catches, 95 yards. Atlanta's 5-8. And unless Tampa lose, they look like they're fading out the playoff picture. I'm just keeping it a C-Note with you. Next up, Aaron Rodgers in Chicago. Last time he was in Chicago, he said he still owned them. And I think he still owns them still. Green Bay got the 28-19 victory. Aaron Rodgers, he threw for 182 and a touchdown. A.J. Dillon got busy, 93 yards and a touchdown. And we had Christian Watson, 3 catches, 48 yards and a touchdown. And he ran for a 46-yard touchdown. Shout out Christian Watson. He's been getting busy. Green Bay, they are now 5-8. Still fighting. Slim chance. But, as for Chicago, Justin Fields, 254, 2 interceptions. He did run for 71 yards and had a touchdown. EQ St. Brown, 3 catches, 85 yards. Chicago's 3-10. Keep it a C-Note. I want to ask y'all a question. I know I always talk about Justin Fields. Right now, coming into next season, you are the number 1 wide receiver on the board, or you're the number 1 running back on the board. Keep it a C-Note. Would you want to play with Justin Fields? Either position, pause, let me know. I would say even if I'm a running back or a wide receiver and I'm the top guy, I don't want to play with Justin Fields because I got to split carries with him and I might not get off as a wide receiver with him, pause. So I would say no, but what's your thoughts on it? Keep it a C-Note. Let's head out Detroit. They was on a little win streak until they ran into Buffalo on Thanksgiving. They was hosting Jacksonville, who was coming off an upset victory last week. Shout out Detroit. They beat the brakes off of Jacksonville, 40-14. Jared Goff got busy, 340, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 62 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown doing what he do, 11 catches, 114, 2 touchdowns. Detroit is still fighting for a playoff spot, people, at 5-7. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, this game was disappointing, but shout out Trevor Lawrence. He did get hurt in the game. He came back in, so he showed me he got heart. He threw for 179 and a touchdown. Travis Etienne Jr., 54 yards on the ground. And Christian Kirk, he got busy, 6 catches, 104 yards. Jacksonville was 4-8. I can see it now. What type of movie would it be if Detroit actually made the playoffs and the Rams didn't? I can hear the ignorant people now. Oh, Jared Goff this, oh, Jared Goff that. And you got people like Vito, and you be like, yeah, but we traded for Stafford and won a Super Bowl. Oh, that was last year. What about this? I can see the movies now. So I think that would be funny if Detroit made the playoffs and we didn't. So shout out Jared Goff, though, because he's definitely been getting busy. You know, Minnesota, they was hosting the Jets. This game was a defensive game at one point, but then it broke open. Shout out Minnesota. They came away with the 27-22 victory. Kirk Cousins threw for 173 and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, he got busy, 86 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 45 yards, a touchdown. Shout out Minnesota. They're 10-2, still rocking out. As for the Jets, Mike White, he threw for 369 and 2 interceptions. Zonovan Knight, he ran for 90 yards. And we had a Garrett Wilson sighting people. He got busy, 8 catches for 162. Shout out to the Jets. They are 7-5, but they did not win this game. You know, how you feeling about it? Keep it a C note. Do you think the Jets will tail off towards the end of the season, or do you think they still have a chance to make the playoffs? Let me know. The NFC East is a little tight. Coming into the week, I believe every team was in the playoffs. That division is definitely tough. We had the Giants. They was hosting Washington. And the division's so tough, these guys played the 2020 tie. Daniel Jones, he threw for 200 yards and a touchdown. Ran for 71 yards as well. Darius Slayton, 6 catches, 90 yards. The Giants, 7-4-1. As for Washington, they fell to 7-5-1. But Taylor Heineke threw for 275 and a touchdown. Brian Robinson, 96 yards on the ground. And Terry McLaurin, 8 catches, 105 yards and a touchdown. Again, the NFC East is tight, people. I'm just keeping it a C note. They might get 2-3 teams in the playoffs out the division. Let's watch out for that. Shout out Philly. A lot of people been talking crazy about Philly since the loss to Washington. The run defense isn't that good. What would Jalen Hurts do without running and had to throw the ball? Can he get busy against the top defense? Well, they was hosting Tennessee, and I salute the Eagles. I salute Jalen Hurts. They beat the brakes off Tennessee, 35-10. Jalen Hurts, he threw for 380 and 3 touchdowns. Miles Sanders, 24 yards. They didn't really do nothing on the ground. But A.J. Brown got busy. 8 catches, 119, 2 touchdowns. Yikes. Tennessee did not want to pay that man, and he came and got busy on him. Yikes. Ryan Tannehill, 141 and a touchdown. And you know the Eagles got busy because Tannehill also led them in rushing with 34 yards. Yikes. And I'm not even going to mess up his first name, but Okonkwo, he had 4 catches, 68 yards. Tennessee 7-5 on a 2-game loser streak. And don't get me wrong, Tennessee defense is mean. But when you got a mean defense, you're supposed to show up against all teams. Them top scoring teams, you're supposed to bring them down. Maybe Tennessee's defense is a smokescreen. I'm just keeping it a C note. Shout out to the Eagles. Again, they definitely got busy. Tennessee might have been being cheap, but they should have paid that man A.J. Brown. I'm just keeping it a C note. Shout out to their rookie though, Traylon Burks. He was taken out with a concussion. Prayers up for him. Speaking of people getting knocked out, we had Baltimore hosting Denver. Poor season for Russell Wilson. Lamar Jackson hasn't been getting busy like he's supposed to. Lamar gets hurt. Baltimore comes away at the end with a 10-9 victory. Tyler Huntley, 187 yards and an interception. He ran for 41 yards and a game-winning touchdown. Mark Andrews, 4 catches, 53 yards. Baltimore still in first place in a division at 8-4. As for Russ cooking, he had 189 yards through the air. Latavius Murray, 47 yards. And Greg Dulcich, 6 catches, 85 yards. Denver is a miserable 3-9, people. Yikes. Yikes. They say Lamar Jackson may be out a couple weeks. Got to keep our eyes on that. If you had Lamar Jackson fantasy football, I feel your pain because I definitely had him in fantasy football. Yikes. Deshaun Watson, week 13 was his first game back in the NFL. And this is my what a joke moment. How convenient did Deshaun Watson get suspended enough games into the season where his first game is against the Houston Texans? Like, really? Really? Like, if sports is rigged, they're telling us right to our face how blind and how ignorant we are to the fact that some of this stuff may be scripted. But when I looked at it, I said, what a joke. His first game back against his old team. But shout out Cleveland. They came away with the 27-14 victory. Deshaun Watson, he threw for 131 and an interception. Nick Chubb, 80 yards on the ground. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 3 catches, 44 yards. Shout out to Cleveland Browns, special teams and defense. They came away with all the points in this game. Cleveland's offense didn't score nothing. Deshaun looked rusty to me, but after missing 2 years, what do you expect? Vito always says there's not going to be no rust, but it was definitely rust. And Deshaun Watson looked horrible, but I'm not going to hold it against him. First game, almost 2 years. So, as for Houston, Kyle Allen threw for 201, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Damian Pierce, 73 yards on the ground, and Chris Moore had 3 catches, 46 yards. Houston is 1-10-1, people. Yikes. Yikes. Next up, we had Seattle in LA to play the Super Bowl champs. Sean McVay trying to not be the first Super Bowl coach to win the Super Bowl and then lose 6 straight games. Pete Carroll, Seattle, they're trying to stay in the playoff hunt. And shout out to Seattle. They came away with the 27-23 victory at the end. Geno Smith, 363, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Kenneth Walker III got hurt. They're back up after Kenneth Walker got hurt. So DJ Dallas did have 37 yards on the ground. But Tyler Lockett, he got busy. 9 catches, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Yikes. But wait, it gets worse. DK Metcalf, 8 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown, including a game-winning touchdown on Mr. Jalen Ramsey. Yikes. Shout out to Seattle. They are 7-5. The Rams, the defending champs, 6-game losing skid. They fall to 3-9. Stafford was out. Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald. The list goes on. They were playing with all backups. They actually played well today. John Wolford, 178, 2 interceptions. Cam Akers, 60 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Tutu Atwell, 2 catches, 48 yards. Shout out Bobby Wagner. He played huge today. 2 sacks. Also had an interception. Also tried to show leadership on the sideline. It just wasn't enough. Jalen Ramsey, he had antics during the game, called himself hyping the defense up. He should have hyped himself up because, again, Jalen Ramsey played horrible. I'm just keeping it a C note. But I'm going to go on record and say that I believe Jalen Ramsey has played his last season in L.A. And the reason why is because Sean McVay does not like to be salty. A lot of people know Sean McVay, one of the reasons why he got rid of Goff is because he plays so horrible against San Fran. This Week 13 game was actually McVay's best coaching game of the season. He was ready to get so much praise for playing with replacement players, and when Jalen Ramsey gave that touchdown up at the end of DK Metcalf, I can almost pretty much guarantee that sealed his trip out of LA. And I'm going to keep it a C note and be the first one to say, good riddance to you, Jalen Ramsey, but I do believe he's gone. That's just me keeping it a C note. Can't vent anymore. The season has been over for us, so let's go San Fran, NFC West, since we having a down moment talking about the bottom of the NFC West. Let's talk about the top of the NFC West. San Fran hosted Miami. Coming into the last 2 weeks, I had Miami in my power rankings as the best team in the league. Shout out San Fran. They're on a 5-game winning streak now. They beat the brakes off Miami 33-17. And what was more impressive about the victory is that Jimmy G broke his foot early in the game and he got replaced by Brock Purdy. And I just knew that Miami was going to steamroll them especially after the first play of the game. But shout out Brock Purdy. He definitely played good. 210, 2 touchdowns, an interception. And he looked like he got a little heart, Vito. So shout out to him. CMC definitely got busy. 66 yards on the ground. 8 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. CMC has heard me talking dirty about him. Shout out to CMC. He definitely got busy. But I'm going to keep it a C note. Shout out to A1 Sauce Money. Shout out to a lot of people who on one of our previous posts, they did a lot of talking about Debo, defending Debo. Some were defending Debo. I'm changing the name of the little character from Where's Waldo to Where's Debo. Where's the huge numbers at? When are we going to have a game when Debo is just going to break out? He's not busting out the bando. Number 2 vibes. I'm keeping it a C note. As for Tua, after that first drive, once he started getting hit, he was shook up. He was throwing it. He was looking like the Tua that I'm used to seeing. Throwing too high, throwing too low. Not throwing good at all. He threw for 295, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They did nothing on the ground. They didn't even try to run the ball. Raheem Mostert, 30 yards. And Tyreek Hill, shout out Tyreek Hill. He got busy. 9 catches, 146 yards, and a touchdown. The Dolphins are 8-4. First loss with Tua. And one thing I will say about this game is San Fran basically just bullied them. And that's basically what it was. Waddle and all of them was nowhere to be found. And it wasn't that they weren't getting open or nothing, but Tua was rattled. But I sent Vito a text in the middle of the game. He never replied because I guess it was the heat of the game. But San Fran's defense is mean, so shout out to the Niners. Again, they are 8-4. Vegas, they ain't lost the game since Derek Carr got in a press conference and started crying. They were hosting the Chargers, and shout out to Vegas. They came away with the 27-20 victory. Derek Carr threw for 250, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Josh Jacobs, the best running back in the league. Yeah, I said it. Josh Jacobs, the best running back in the league. He had 144 and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 8 catches, 177, 2 touchdowns. Shout out Vegas. They're 5-7. Sean McVay, Les Snead. You want to make things right? Get rid of Jalen Ramsey. Drop that bag on Josh Jacobs. Let's rebuild. Let's put a running back back in LA with Cooper Kupp so we can be dynamic again. I'm just keeping it a C note. You had Justin Herbert, 335 and a touchdown. Austin Eckler, 35 yards on the ground. Keenan Allen, 6 catches, 88 yards and a touchdown. The Chargers are 6-6. When it rains, it pours. You know how I go in California, especially in LA. SoFi Stadium, them teams ain't looking good from SoFi Stadium. The game of the day, we had Cincinnati hosting KC. Burrow has won the last 2 against Mahomes coming into week 13. And shout out Burrow, he now won the last 3 games. 27-24 victory. Burrow threw for 286, 2 touchdowns. Samaje Perine got the start, mixing it and clear concussion protocol. He added 106 yards on the ground. Jamar Chase was back, 7 catches, 97 yards. Don't look now, but the Bengals are 8-4, starting to get healthy and on a winning streak. Let's watch out for them. Patrick Mahomes, 223 and a touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, he had 66 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2 catches for 71 yards. KC drops to 9-3. And listen, people, let's keep it a C note. I know that the Eagles are having a great season, but we recently put a post up with the quarterbacks from that draft with Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and I can't think of who the last person was, but it'll be on the screen. I know the Eagles are having a good season. I know some people like Justin Herbert, but for anybody to say Joe Burrow is not the best quarterback in that league, you should drop your location so I can personally call you a Uber. It'll be on the Keep the C Note podcast. I'm just keeping it a C Note. Sunday night football. We had Dallas hosting Indy, trying to keep pace with the Eagles. This game was close with 3 minutes and some change left in the third quarter. And Dallas just hit the go button. Shout out Dallas. They came away with the 54-19 victory. Yikes. Special shout out Dallas because we just talked about this. Never take your foot off the gas. I don't care if you're a professional or not. Run that score up. Dallas did that. Salute to them guys. Dak Prescott, he threw for 170. 3 touchdowns and an interception. Tony Pollard, 91 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb got busy, 5 catches, 71 yards and a touchdown. Dallas is 9-3. Looking mean. That offense running the score up, so shout out Dallas, Kyle, Mike, Cowboys Nation. I see you guys. Matty Ice, he threw for 233, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Yikes. Jonathan Taylor, 82 yards on the ground. And Alec Pierce, he had 4 catches, 86 yards, a touchdown. Indy, 4-8-1. It's a wrap for them. keeping it a C note. Before we get out of here, shout out Dallas. Shout out to the NFC East, the whole NFC East, above 500, best division in football, maybe. The stat that I just got is the NFC East is 11-1 versus the NFC South, which is Tampa's division, which does not have a team with a winning record. So I'm going to ask y'all to keep it a C note. Is that a big deal or no? Is the NFC East, because Vito always talked that strength of schedule stuff. Keep it a C note. NFC East 11-1 versus the NFC South. Is that a big deal or no? I say yes, that's a big deal because they're getting over on bums. But I mean, don't get it wrong. The Eagles, shout out to the Eagles. They're still a good team. Shout out to them. Shout out to Vito. Jimmy G is out for the season. San Fran is in first place. That defense looks mean. They just locked Miami down. Does San Fran losing Jimmy G cause San Fran a chance to go to the Super Bowl? What's your thoughts? Yes, no. Keep it a C note. I say if there was a chance for them to go to the Super Bowl, even though the kid played good today, I don't see no Kurt Warner stories or nothing coming out of that. I just keep it a C note. Jimmy G probably was their best chance to win a Super Bowl. So even though Vito's in first place, and the team is looking mean on defense, I think Vito pretty much may be chalking this season like me. I don't know, though. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think this will cost them any chance they did have to play in the Super Bowl. I'm just keeping it a C note. Give me one team in the NFC to watch after 13 weeks. We're going to the last 5 weeks. Give me one NFC team to watch. I'm going to keep it a C note. They have not been in my power rankings, but they are running the score up. 2 good running backs. Their wide receivers emerging as a star. I'm going to Dallas Cowboys. Definitely a team to watch. Micah Parsons is definitely a top defensive player. Shout out Trayvon Diggs after all that stuff in mini camp, him getting burnt and all that. He definitely bounced back. So shout out Trayvon Diggs. The Cowboys are my team to watch, especially with an injury to like Jimmy G. Well, let's see if they can beat the Eagles. Pause. What's your thoughts, though? Give me an AFC team. One AFC team that we should watch these last 5 weeks. Keep it a C note. I'm going to run up in the Super Bowl. I'm going to Bengals. They're starting to get hot again. Under the radar, I believe they won like 4 in a row. But, they are a team to watch. They've already been there. They can lose to Patrick Mahomes. So, let's see how that plays out. But I think Cincy is definitely a team to watch. Even when you look, they've been winning without Jamar Chase. They've won without Joe Mixon. I think that team is mean, and we should watch out for them. Let's go. We 13 weeks into this NFL season. Keep it a C note. Who's on your MVP list? Give me your top 3 MVPs. Who you got? Me, I'm going 3, Josh Allen. 2, he was my number 1, but he's now moved to 2. I'm going Patty Mahomes. My number 1, shout out to the Eagles again, all my Eagles fans. It's burning me out. Jalen Hurts, after 13 weeks, I got him number 1 on my MVP list. But I don't know. That 11-1 thing is kind of troubling me with the NFC South. I'm just keeping it a C note. Monday Night Football, we got New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Of course, 2 NFC South teams. Below 500 like the rest of the division. Who you got? Keep it a C note. I got to take Brady. I mean, Out of him and Dalton, yeah, I'm taking Brady. Let's see how that goes. I've been taking Brady. They've been killing my tickets. I'm just keeping it a C note. I'm about to wrap this episode up. Not stressed this week, not calling McVay, yelling and screaming and all that. I don't know if Sean McVay is really 100% dedicated to coaching this year. So, I ain't going to keep burning them out. But I'm still a champion for the next couple of weeks. I'm just keeping it a C note. It's the Rams. You know how we do, baby. We'll be back. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this your first time ever tuning in, please hit the sub button. If you're a regular, make sure you hit the like button. Drop them comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Always keep the C note with us. I definitely appreciate y'all. As always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I holla at y'all. Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like.